Hello, Chathu. How are you today? And the answer better be good. So I'm gonna beat you up if not. It's video game time. No, not you. I'm so glad we have a limiter, chat. I'm so glad we have a limiter. Let's get this up and going. Why does it not look like you guys can hear game audio? You guys should be hearing game audio. One moment. Oh no, my stream is just my. Okay, how loud is the audio? Is it a good volume, bad volume? Usually I can see it, but for some reason I can't see it. Do it sound good? A little quiet, but not bad. I can turn it up. Let's crank it about here. How's that sound? Better? Perfect. Alright, we'll rock with that then. Miles. Dude, mildly Edgeworth is about to get schlabbed. Alright, let's get this shit. Hey, look, it's K. Chased out like a pair of peasants. I don't remember their voices, chat. I don't remember what I did for voices. I never remember. I gotta start like watching the old stream every single time that I stream. Hold on. Watch it back. Don't worry, chat. I'm just pulling up my old streams right now. There we go. Perfect. All right, there we go. There was a cell phone the whole time? If I'm right, Detective Gumshoe should have caught. Wow, my voices sound bad, chat. What can I say? I'm a real quality voice actor. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Kay? There's something even thieves should never steal. Do you know what that is? Coupons to Giant Eagle. Really shouldn't steal anything, however, I'll bite. What shouldn't a thief steal? A life. It's too heavy of a burden on your soul to get away with ever. That's something we can both agree on. Well said, Kay. However, I personally like to steal little trinkets from Walmart. I think corporations should die. No matter what we may try, murder is the one crime that can never truly be hidden. And I intend to prove that by my own hands. I'm going to murder someone and have a really hard time hiding it. Alright, and I'm gonna work extra hard to be a good assistant. Let's go. I still never said she could be my assistant. I'm just going to have to drop the issue. The first thing we should do is locate the real scene of the murder. Mr. Edgeworth! Detective Gumshoe. Mr. Edgeworth, the stadium! It's the real site of the murder! This is supposed to be hush-hush, but they found a witness at the stadium. A witness? You! Why don't you believe in your signpost? The jig is up. Mr. Edgeworth, remember that I'm always rooting for you, so go get him, sir. Off I go. Those detectives sure look like they're enjoying themselves. It's not all fun and games, Kay. Now then, let's head to the stadium and meet this witness. Ignore that chat, I've got a protein shake. I really hope you can't hear like the sounds of me fucking swallowing protein shake. I thought there was a witness here. I hope it's not Wendy Oldbag in the fucking Pinkmobile. Yeah, I don't see anyone. Mystery Edgeworth. Take 1 million shots right now. Oh, I forgot to put the siren cam back up. Hold on, kitty cat cam, kitty cat cam. I'll wait while you're taking your shots. I'll wait, don't worry. We're gonna be here for a bit, chat. Look, kitty cat time. You're on screen again, don't do anything I wouldn't do. There she is. There she is, there's the chunky queen. There we go. I feel like I gotta give Emma a really good voice. Yeah, long time no see! You are... You are Miss Emma Skye, correct? This girl is the younger sister of my former superior, Lana Skye. 2 years ago, we stood in the same courtroom together as witness and prosecutor. I thought I was gonna have her dead, but I guess not. But I thought she had gone to Europe to study forensics. Yeah, I can't believe you remember me, Mr. Edgeworth. Of course I do. How have you been? You look to be in good spirits and not in jail like I tried to put you in. Are you still studying abroad? Yeah, I'm looking at abroad right now. You bet. More than anything, I want to investigate crime scenes scientifically. Listen, Mr. Edgeworth. Grass grows, birds fly, sun shines, and brother, I study forensics. If you were from where I was from, you would do luminol testing. Well, spring break now, so I thought I'd come back for a bit. I see. Well, farewell, Emma. I wonder if Emma is the witness. I almost didn't recognize you. You've really grown in the past few years. Please don't tease me, Mr. I can't do his fucking voice. I can't do women voices. I wish women didn't exist in video games and it was only men. I can do like 4 men voices, but I can only do 1 woman voice. Here, I can do a... I can't do a voice. I'm gonna have to do one of the 2 women voices. Please don't tease me, Mr. Edgeworth. I know I still have a long way to go. But I'm gonna be a super forensic scientist someday, you'll see. You seem to know Mr. Edgeworth real well. Are you two acquaintances? Don't talk to each other, or else I'm not gonna be able to tell you apart. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Emma Sky. Nice to meet you. I'm studying abroad. I'm looking at one right now. You're abroad. Wow! Stop! No, now I'm gonna lose Kay's voice if I do that. And I'm trained to be an unstoppable great thief. A great thief. Yeah, this is gonna be the Emma voice. Fuck you, Carpal. Get fucked. Don't think too hard on it, Emma. It's not worth the trouble. In any case, we have much to catch up on. You bet we do. I'm doing the scout voice. Fuck you. Fuck you. So why are you here, Emma? Well, I just happened to come back home for spring break. And then I heard that you'd come back too, so I raced on over. I really wanted to welcome you back at the airport, but I just missed you. And how exactly did you know I was here? Through the power of science, naturally. Never underestimate him. I can't do any voices, chat. How about I just read Emma's voice in my own voice, and I just cheat. I think that sounds like a great plan. Through the power of science, naturally. Never underestimate what science can do for you. I use these to track your footprints and I followed them straight to you. Wow, that's fucking freaky. I'm so glad you're here so that you can help me identify the bloodstains. I know what luminol is, Emma! Oh wait, never mind, that's not luminol. I don't know what luminol is then, chat. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I messed up, and now Emma's still here. It's almost like magic, scientifically speaking. Emma, please put your 3DS away. This is hardly the time to be playing Pokemon. Emma, I'd like to ask you about your team on your Ruby Nuzlocke. Is it true that you killed Bernard? Huh? What are you talking about? Are you not the witness Detective Gumshoe told us about? Well, I did get a call from Detective Gumshoe earlier. He was practically yelling at me. Mr. Edgeworth needs your scientific doohickeys right now, pal, he said. What was that man thinking? Or rather, not thinking. So let me guess, there's been a murder, right? Yes, unfortunately. There's a sudden glint in her eyes. But I need to keep my mind focused on the witness. Now, where did the person go? Knock knock. I assume this is another Badger-mobile? Yeah, but it's a different color than the Blue Badger's car. Yes, this is the Retina Searing Pink model. I love when my retinas are seared. What's that off in the distance? Do I spy a fair maiden? Fuck, I do. Oh hey, it's the Pink Badger. Badger get. Badger, 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 badger. Mushroom, mushroom. Just what does she see in these silly things? Hey, welcome to chat. Thanks for popping in. Doing pretty good, doing pretty good. Hey, thanks for the follow. I think this badger has something to say to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Are you by chance the witness I've been searching for? Sorry, but I don't speak badger dance. Oh, I knew it! Oh, I knew it was Wendy Oldbag! Oh my god! I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't want to deal with fucking Wendy Oldbag. How did I know? How did I know? I saw the pink car, and I just got the Wendy Oldbag vibes. I just got the vibes. I knew it was gonna be Wendy Oldbag. Ah! I can't take inside that stuffy head anymore! You're... No, why her? Why here? Why now? Edgeworth, I don't think I've ever been more agreed with you before. I first met this woman 3 years ago. She was a witness in one of my cases, and I wish I never saw her ever again. How did you know? Did you see spoilers? No, I just got the Wendy Oldbag vibes. I just knew that at some point, in some case, I was gonna have to deal with Wendy Oldbag again. Edgy Poo! Why couldn't you understand what I was trying to tell you? I mean, really? I was trying so hard to keep the kids' dreams alive by staying in character. I couldn't pick up what I was trying to convey to you. I'm sick and tired of that roundabout way of talking. No, my Bluetooth is not on. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't have any Bluetooth on my computer. I'm sick and tired of that roundabout way of talking, so I'm just gonna be direct. I had a bad feeling before, but this just made it official. Today has gone beyond the typical not my day into the realm of waking nightmare. So you're a friend of Miss Edgeworth too, Miss Pink Badger? You could say that, but right now, I'm just the Pink Badger, dearie. She may look the part, but I know better than to trust my eyes around this woman. Oh! That's smooth, I love that. My name is Wendy Oldbag. But you can call me Wendy, or Granny, or whatever suits your fancy. Nice to meet you, Miss Oldbag. I'm Kay Faraday. What do I care about a young whippersnapper like you? Yeesh, I was just trying to be polite. Weren't you the security guard at the one Gatewater Hotel the last time we met? I go where I'm needed. I'm very good at what I do, unlike the youth of today. I get called in all the time to fill when there aren't enough hands. But enough about me, Edgy Poo. I'm thoroughly dejected right now. I finally get the chance to see you again, and here you are talking with two young girls. Men are all the same. It doesn't matter how old they are, but the young girls who just notice me, I'm an 18-year-old, a 6-year-old, it's a persimmon. You seem to attract all types of interesting people, Mr. Edgeworth. Kate, please, I'm begging you, by all means do not provoke her any further. Aren't you forgetting about something, Mr. Edgeworth? This person could be the witness. Honestly, I hope she isn't, but I think fate here is going to be so kind today. I saw what happened! I even saw the exact moment it happened! How's that? So it's true. She's the witness. I don't suppose I can afford to ignore the old bag. Yes, it was just a little while ago. I saw it happen right in front of me. The moment of the murder! You mean to say that you witnessed someone being killed right before your eyes? Sounds like a pretty important piece of testimony to me. Can we just, like, accuse somebody incorrectly instead of dealing with Wendy Oldbag? I would personally prefer that. I came to the stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to notice over and I saw two men facing each other in that area. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot, and the person who was shot fell to the ground. It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell you. Looks like we hit the jackpot, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, I can't afford to ignore what she has to say. Unfortunately. What's unfortunately tacked on at the end there supposed to mean, Edgy Poo? Well, anyway, let's see what we can find out from this little old lady. You mean you took a break from being the Pink Badger? You may not think it, but it's hard work keeping these kids' dreams alive. You smell sweat, your hip creaks with pain, you even begin to dream about work. Man, I'm only 25, I'm already getting that, I gotta be real, chat. That's the kind of story that would scar a child for life, you know. Well, that's why I chose to come take my break here, whippersnapper. I don't plan on playing the part of the dead badger in front of a bunch of kids. So what did you see while you, the Pink Badger, were resting? Oh, yeah, that, well...
Hold it!
You saw two men. Can you describe them for me? They look like your average Joes, completely uninteresting and not worth fawning over. I'm telling you, they were so boring. I don't even remember that much beyond that. What, did they have any special features? Anything you would recall could be pretty useful. Oh my, don't tell me you're jealous of those two men. Hey, she's right. You do seem pretty worked up over them, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not worked up over anyone, and I'm not jealous. It's alright, Edgy Poo. Those two were just fouls compared to a stallion like you. Can you not dox me over the internet by telling everybody that my real life last name is Old Bag? How dare you? Yeah, that's my that's my real name revealed, chat. My full name is Medium Thickness Old Bag. I thought so little of them that I had lost interest the instant I laid eyes on them. Suddenly there was a loud gunshot.
Hold it!
Okay. You're claiming to have seen the exact moment in which the murder took place? Absolutely! That gun made a terrible racket when it was fired. You didn't try to go help the person that got shot? I'm only one person, you smart alecky brat! What could I have done? But I took off as soon as I could to find someone who could help. 2 men, 1 bullet. I've seen a video on Pornhub like this. It's all consistent with what we found from that body. Sadly, there wasn't exactly a lot of new information to go on in your testimony. Well, if I saw the guy again, I'm sure I could identify him for you. I mean, how do you expect me to remember anything without something to jog my memory? Self-centered, aren't we? While it was somewhat useful, her testimony also presents us with a new problem. The fact she's probably going to accuse Meekins for no reason. Oh, excuse me, chat. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? So about this new problem. What is that giant grin on your face for? Do you want me to show you something really nice? Okay, I'm not interested in seeing your sick CSGO butterfly knife collection. Don't be so mean. I swear it's something you're gonna like. What is that gadget you're holding? What you see before you is the secret weapon of a great thief. It, fucking, I don't know. Ah, I should have known it would be worthless. Fucking cell phone, motherfucker. Where's your iPhone? Where's your iPhone? No iPhone having bitch. What color's your Bugatti, K? What color's your Bugatti? What do you think now? Did your phone just fart, K? What is it doing? It's projecting something into the air. I'm going to input the necessary information to run the simulation now. Once I'm done, I'll increase the size of the projection to its maximum size. Dark skies of evening when no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. Bro, we got that. Alright, chat, this is penis music. I'm sure you've all heard penis music before. This is penis music. She's jamming. This is a recreation of the murder based on the info I imputed into Little Thief. Little Thief. I dare say I think you're taking the Robin Hood thing a little too far. Little Thief is actually meant to be a simulator for me to plan my thefts. But I suppose if I used it like this... Let's see. Miss Oldbag said the two men were facing each other. And then a gunshot rang out, and the victim fell to the ground. Future! Ah, so with this we can inspect the crime scene as it was in the past. See? So what do you think? I have to say I'm impressed by the technology thieves have access to these days. Well, it is the super secret weapon of the mighty Yatagarasu. Indeed. Oh, but if there isn't enough information, so if something is out of place, the recreation could come out a little strange. In other words, I can use this to authenticate the validity of a witness's testimony. You got it. You really catch on quick, Mr. Edgeworth. Right now, this simulation is a recreation of that witness's testimony. So for now, I should re-examine everything. And if I find anything illogical or strange, I can then ask for clarification. Feel free to examine anything in the simulation in the way you always do. You can even present evidence when you find a contradiction. If you find something, I've got Little Thief with me, so just let me know, okay? According to the testimony, the victim fell to the ground here. That's right, but if that's the case, then we've already found our first contradiction. Huh? What? Where? If this is the real scene of the crime, there's something that should be here. Blood? Would it be the blood or the Blue Badger mobile?
Take that!
This is the contradiction. Now. If you think back, how did we deduce that the other crime scene was not the real one? I get what's missing now. There's no blood on the ground here either. Right. If only we had some luminol fluid. Edgy-poo! How dare you doubt me like that? Are you calling me a liar? I know what I saw. I saw the victim get shot down. You know, I don't think she's lying, Mr. Edgeworth. To be honest, I can't think of a reason why she would lie to me. In that case, there may be another explanation for the distinct lack of blood. Perhaps somebody cleaned it. Boop. Got you. Boop, 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 boop. It's the silhouette of the killer with his gun at the ready. Kay, is it not possible to recreate the face of the killer? Well, I can't exactly input what we don't know into Little Thief. She has a point. It looks like they broke the stage down. I guess this means they're done for the day. Or maybe it's because a different show is scheduled to start to run tomorrow. Good chat, this is our blood right here. Okay, I'm supposed to talk to Wendy. What is this? Some sort of new attraction? Go on, Edgy Poo. Show me anything, I'll tell you all about it. Very well, what do you think about this? It's nothing special. Somehow I figured she'd say as much. Why is there no blood? There must be some sort of explanation for this contradiction. Perhaps I should go over all the information I've gathered one more time. So you believe that this gadget will provide us with the proof we need? Yeah, of course. Pretty neat, huh? By inputting info like this, I can recreate the crime. Although Little Thief was originally intended to be a training sim for heist. A training sim for thievery? I don't believe I can turn a deaf ear to that, Kay. But it's for practice. Practice! It's not like I've actually stolen anything yet. Besides, we're in the middle of an investigation, so stop nitpicking. Even if it is just for practice, I can't exactly endorse the act of stealing. Though admittedly, this device is rather useful in an investigation. So how am I supposed to use this to aid my investigation? Oh, that's right. I guess I should explain how to use it. Objects outlined in yellow are things that are not from our present time. Things outlined in a dye line are things that existed now but didn't in the past. I see. You can examine and interact with replicated people and objects as you do normally. You can even present evidence whenever you find an inconsistency. Oh, and be sure to point out mistakes in the recreation with evidence too. Very well, let's continue the investigation. If there's something you don't get, feel free to ask. Okay. Well, didn't we... I'm confused. I'm a little bit confused. What? How does that... How does that connect? How does that connect at all? That doesn't connect at all. That makes no sense. Is it not possible that the victim was wearing a costume? So you really think that Mr. Deacon was one of the kidnappers? I think that we can reasonably assume that there's a very good chance that he was. And that if he was shot while he was inside of one of the stolen costumes, then Mr. Deacon's blood would be inside the costume instead of on the ground. Precisely. Now, if only we could prove that the victim was wearing a costume. You'd think it'd be pretty easy if we could find some footprints. If only we had to find away footprints. Footprints, huh? If only there was a way to find some footprints. Wendy Oldbag, do you have a way to find some footprints? This is amazing. Just feel the power of science. Emma, what were you talking about footprints? Ah, finally my expert knowledge in forensics is needed. Yes, well, can you detect and trace even partial footprints? Leave it to me. My cutting-edge detection kit can find anything. Very well. If you could please analyze the footprints in this area. Okay, stand back and witness the power of science at work. Hey, I found something. Look right there. I don't see anything. Oh, that's right. Here, put these special glasses on, Mr. Edgeworth. This protein shake's so good, dude. These footprints were definitely left by a badger costume. Judging by the way the footprints are layered, those seem to be the newest. Then we can conclude that the victim was definitely wearing a costume at the time. Okay, in that case, I'll update Little Thief's simulation parameters. I can't wait to see what we find out from this new info. Holy shit, guys, the badger's dead! So the victim was wearing a costume when he died. And with that, we should be one step closer to the truth, right? Oh, chat, there's something I want to talk about. Cool development that happened. GameStop is pairing up with PSA. So now you can bring cards into GameStop and they will send them to PSA to get graded for you for like, I think it's like $16 to do it, which is really great because that means you don't have to pay $100 for a PSA membership, which is super awesome. I might bring in like a lower value card that I want graded just so I can, you know, see how their whole process goes. But I personally really want to try it out, so. It's not all GameStops, they have like a store locator to see which ones actually work. But it's so cool. GameStop's making huge moves, man. I should really invest in their stock, I'm not gonna lie. I see the recreation has changed in accordance with the new information. We may be closer, but now something else has caught my attention. Yeah, like what? Oh, she didn't mention that he was wearing the costume. What do you want? Your testimony, naturally. I'd like to hear it one more time, if you please. Oh, edgy poo! Game took a break. I was resting. I saw two men. Suddenly there was a gunshot. It was terrifying. So, does this mean Miss Oldbag's testimony has a contradiction in it? Yes, and I believe our best course of action is to compare it with your recreation. See, I just knew Little Thief would be of help. Now let's go see if we can pull more info from Miss Oldbag to put into the recreation. For that, we must first find the contradiction in her testimony. Yeah, I think we found the contradiction. Tell us about the defining features again. Average Joe's. Add that to your testimony. Okay, or don't. Or just don't add it to your testimony, fucker. Two men. How did you know the gender of the two people involved, seeing as how the victim was wearing a costume at the time? Furthermore, I have another matter I'd like to inquire about. I'd very much like to know why you failed to mention the costume in your testimony. I'm beginning to doubt if you really witnessed the murder at all. But I'm telling you, I really did see it. I saw it with my very own two eyes. From a seat in the second tier. The second tier? Hey, didn't you say you saw it right in front of you earlier? That was, you know, I was using the phrase in metaphorical sense. I see our witness still has a screw loose in the metaphorical sense. The cushy seats are in the second tier are reserved for hot shot VIPs. Which is exactly why I go there now and again to take a nap. I can't see how you could have gotten a good look from up there. It's so high up. Were you able to see even the victim's costume from way up there? Well, I know I saw 2 people, but I couldn't really see what they looked like because they were in the stage's shadow. My eyesight isn't what it used to be, you know. Not like when I was a young eagle-eyed Wendy thought 100 paces make a flash and move in a judgmental eye, but I'm not like looking to a man. Let's return to our investigation, shall we, Kay? You got it. This new silhouette of the victim is in a costume. The silhouettes can change depending on the information I input. The little thief can recreate more than just people. So investigate away. We may even find more info with which to get a more accurate sim. Alright, sounds like a plan. So we need to set the stage back up. What? No. Urethra! If that woman's testimony is to be believed, the murder occurred before the stage was broken down. Do you want me to input that info into Little Thief? Yes, if you could please. Okay. There is clearly a contradiction here. Stop sleeping my lines! Oh, come on, it wasn't that hard to see it coming, even for a layman like me. I suppose, in any case, it is not possible for the killer to have stood here in that way, because there was a very real stage set up in this spot of the Gavineers. Well, that's their logo anyway. Yeesh, I told you I got it. Do you feel the need to explain everything? Yes, well, I love mansplaining. Is it obvious? The killer was on top of the stage naturally. Wrong! That doesn't match up with the bullet holes! He would have had to have been shot in the back. Actually, that would make sense. Yeah, remember now, the killer was standing on top of the stage. See, now let me update the info in the simulation. Wrong. Wah, wah. No, not complete! Well, wow, what have we here? A bunch of hooligans running amok, I see. Agent Lang, how nice of you to join us. Well, I can't have you going around messing up my crime scenes. Agent Lang, we've discovered that the real scene of the murder is here in the stadium. I see. Thanks. For what? I'm just trying to show you my appreciation for all the time you saved me. Who knew that such a strange little toy could recreate a crime scene like that? Little Thief is not a toy. You too. Sir! And there you have it, you see? Big boys like me don't need silly little toys, girl. Now this is a recreation. So what? Do you still intend to assert that Officer Meekins is the killer? Of course. Even knowing that the crime scene took place here doesn't let him off the hook. I wouldn't let him get off in the first place. This is the real scene of the crime. Officer Meekins lay in wait for the victim on top of the stage. And when the victim finally showed up, he shot him from on high. That's the truth your little recreation showed.
How far will you go to accuse Officer Meekins of the crime?
He's the most likely suspect we've got. Especially since he has a gun. Well, even if he is the killer, at least my recreation was on the mark. You see, thanks for understanding, you little crow girl. I'm not some common crow, I'm the Yatagarasu, the Raven of Legend.
Unfortunately, your conclusion has yet to be tested, so let's see how well it holds up.
Hold it!
So you agree with our recreation, how our recreation turned out?
Like I said, I'm grateful you were able to save me some time.
Alright, but we still don't know why he chose to wait on top of the stage.
Who cares? Maybe he wanted to become the Blue Badger. Just to say he didn't see the stage and decided to put on a Blue Badger show of his own.
Or maybe there's a completely different reason.
Doesn't matter. It still doesn't change the fact that Officer Meekins stood up on that stage and shot the victim on the ground below. It's the truth your little recreation showed.
Hold it!
So you honestly believe what you're saying is what really occurred?
You're the one who came up with the scenario, buddy. Are you saying you doubt yourself?
Touché. Unfortunately, Agent Lalang, his conclusions do not contradict our recreation.
Well, it does mean it all went down just as he says. I mean, he's literally just repeating exactly what we said, but putting Meekins instead of some guy.
No, not quite. I wonder if what we had recreated earlier was the whole truth.
Hold it!
Looks like we found the real crime scene first.
Brag all you want, because if we didn't have all that free time, unlike the two of you. You know what you remind me of? A dog licking his wounds as he whimpers home. Well, I guess I should be thankful for all the time you saved me. JJ. That's how we say thanks in my country.
You're welcome. I hope he realizes we didn't do this all for him.
I'm here now, so now I'm taking over. As I was saying, this is where the crime scene took place.
Hold it!
Lying in wait? How did Officer Meekins even know the victim was going to come here?
Simple. He was investigating the kidnappers, right? And while he was doing so, he came to understand the victim, Mr. Deacon's movements.
And why would the good officer want to ambush and kill a kidnapper?
Not so fast! You mean his motive? Who knows and who cares? You can find out yourself when you talk to him in jail.
You have no respect for the order of law.
Don't get me wrong, but I need more than there's no motive to convince me otherwise.
He's right. Lack of a motive is a rather weak argument by itself.
So if the officer lay in wait on top of the stage. Wah-wah.
So I was right. I'm terribly sorry, Agent Lang. Agent Wang.
Huh?
I should have warned you that our recreation is incomplete. You cut in quite unexpectedly, after all.
What's that supposed to mean?
You said that the victim was shot by the killer from up above, correct? I hate to break it to you, but that's not possible.
Huh? Why not?
We called Mr. Deacon's body specifically where the gunshot wounds were located.
What's up with that stupid-ass face?
Oh no, you cannot bring up Typhlosion. Bro, Typhlosion's case is next, actually. Oh, wait then. The bullet entered Mr. Deacon in his abdominal region and exited his right shoulder. This is more consistent with the angled shot from beneath the victim. Then, yes, our recreation had the victim being shot at an angle from above.
A clear contradiction. You're discounting your own conclusions?
No, this one point is the only flaw. This was the mistaken parameter in our recreation. Yes, the location of the killer and the victim were wrong.
I get it. I see what you're trying to say.
I believe the killer and the victim were standing opposite to what we initially thought. It was the victim who was on top of the stage as he was being shot by the killer. If this is what happened, I'd also explain the position of the gunshot wound.
But then, what about the footprints?
Since footprints don't lie, we can assume then that the killer also wore a costume.
Okay, I'll try using that data instead.
Judging by the fact that both the killer and the victim were wearing costumes, I'd say it was a killing between two kidnappers. That would be the most natural conclusion. Tisk tisk, I say, tapping my forehead. Wouldn't you agree, Agent Wang?
Well done, Mr. Prosecutor. But that alone doesn't clear Officer Meekins of the crime. He could literally still be a killer. I ask that you take another good look at the tire marks over there. The 3 marks are indicative of the Blue Badger mobile. That story Officer Meekins told about that shop on wheels getting stolen was just a lie. Drive the Blue Badger mobile here and commit the crime. Then he used the car to move the body to the garage in the Wild Wild West area. Wiki wiki!
What's my damn victim in the list? You believe he moved the body with the car?
That's right. It was Officer Meekins himself who pointed us to the way he did it.
3 tired tread marks are very telling, however... Is the Blue Badger mobile the only one capable of such a pattern? Emma's not a detective yet. How old is Emma in this game anyway? Okay, she's 18 in this game. In Ace Attorney, she's 16. In this one, she's 18. In Apollo, she's like 25. Oh yeah, we could just check the profile, couldn't we? Yeah, she's 18. A pancake. Incorrect! This is a Blue Badger mobile! Looks like the only thing that the car was selling was death, not dreams. Only if what Agent Wang turns out to be true. The 3 tired tread marks are very telling, however. No. No, it's not.
Hold it!
I might have to press a little bit, but... I have to agree that the Blue Badger mobile has 3 tires.
course. It's the only thing in this park that can make those marks as a roving shop.
Objection! Turn around! There is literally a pink one right behind you. You can't simply ignore the pink and the Proto-Badger mobiles, Agent Lang.
Not so fast! Of course. I didn't say it couldn't be either of the other two. I see no reason to drag them in to this just to complicate things. That story Officer Meekins told about that shop on wheels is just about getting stolen was just a lie.
Hold it!
Of course, you have some proof that it was all a lie, correct?
Of course not. Well, that was blunt. But suppose it is a lie. That would explain a lot of things. Like his motive and his whereabouts.
Did I just present the Blue Badger mobile because it's missing? I think I'm supposed to present that it's like not money or something? Incorrect, Agent Lang. The tires aren't dirty or something. Those tire marks could not have been left by Officer Meekin's Blue Badger mobile. One look at the car would have told you so. What proves that? Clearly this dead man!
Take that!
Take a good look at the tires. There's not a single dollop of mud to be found.
Nyeh.
If this is the car that had come to the backstage area and left those tire tracks, then the lack of mud on these tires stands out as a very peculiar indeed.
And how do you explain the tire tracks, genius?
Hey, I've got it. What about Miss Oldbag's Pink Badger mobile?
Don't be ridiculous! I was sleeping the entire time in the second-tier seats!
Indeed, I believe we can rule her out as someone related to the crime. However, there is yet one more roving store, as I recall.
Oh! You mean the Proto-Badger?
That's right, there was one more parking space inside that garage, and it proves the existence of a Proto-Badger mobile. Agent Lang, I suggest you find this Proto-Badger mobile.
Mr. Edgeworth, can you get your finger out of my face, please?
There must still be some sort of incriminating evidence in it.
Yeah.
Hey, did you hear something?
Ow.
Well, it's Lance. Help me.
Are you alright? Well, this is something. Looks like we found our kidnapped victim. You can tell he's been kidnapped because he's a kidnapping. Where were you all this time?
Wild West with the kidnappers. He was in the room next to the one I was held in. Ran away using underground and got lost. I'm gonna say this now. Lance kidnapped himself with his butler, and then he killed the butler. The kidnappers.
I can't understand you.
The kidnappers escaped wearing costumes.
Did you see the face of your kidnappers?
No, I didn't see their faces, but two. One was a woman.
A woman? An important piece of testimony. Hey, what are you guys doing? Stop staying there and get your cops on this already. I let you guys have what the kid said just now. Consider it a gift. Now, are you gonna get out of my crime scene, or am I gonna have to get rough and kiss you?
Again? You're nothing but a big bully.
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go. No, 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 not you. You're a very important witness for my case. I'm gonna also accuse you because you're a woman.
Don't count on me to testify because I won't. Not for you.
That's right. I won't either. You hear me, you young whippersnapper? And calm down. There's no need for all this hostility. Just want to take a statement from each of you. I'm not gonna get rough either of you. I give you my word. Come on now, fair maidens. What do you say when you cooperate? Fair maiden. Are you little rascal? You sure know the way into a woman's heart.
Oh, I just realized I gave... I gave them, like, the same voice.
Like he says, the passage of time is but a fleeting moment, and a lady is young forever. Try not to do my edgy pull with your fancy schmancy sayings. Let's get this over with. So we're clear, I'm only interested in giving you my statement, not my heart. Sure, just as soon as Mr. Prosecutor leaves us be. In private.
Mr. Edgeworth. Goodbye, Emma. Figure something out. Actually, I'm tired. This might be a shorter stream today.
Looks like we got the boot again.
With the land safe, the focus of the investigation will now shift solely onto the murder.
You mean the infight between the kidnappers?
Yes, and also the identity of the remaining kidnapper. Myers, my boy! That means true. Oh wait, no, I gave him like a... Tell me it's true. Tell me you found my boy. Yes, Mr. Amano, we found him early in the stadium.
Then my little Lance is unhurt?
He's not exactly the picture of perfect health, but his life is not in danger. He's being questioned right now by Agent Lang.
Poor Lance. It must have been so horrible for him. Locked up like a... Miles, my boy, I can't thank you enough.
It was nothing.
I'm still in shock over what happened to Oliver. But I have to say I'm relieved that Lance is all right. Oh, that's right. I mustn't forget to pass this on to Lance as soon as the police are finished with them.
A letter?
The way Lance is being chased after by women reminds me of someone I know. I almost can't believe we received yet another love letter, you know. Here, take a look for yourself.
Isn't this a breach of confidentiality? It's a very simple love letter.
Oh, hey, let me see. That's really weird. It's from a loan company. Tender lender. Looks more like a collection bill to me. Huh? He loves me, he loves me not. He loves me, he loves me not. Aw, that's the 12th one. Now, you can't give up, Lauren. Just one more try.
Excuse me, I can't help but feel a bit sorry for all the flowers you've gone through.
I suppose, if they were me, then...
I believe you said that you were Lance's girlfriend when we first met, correct?
Yes, I am, but... Oh, it's not like we both think of each other as lovers. But he did give me this ring, so I guess we're not just friends either. I mean, because this isn't just an ordinary ring. It tastes so sweet when you lick it. Ah, it's so wonderful.
You mean to tell me that he gave you a lollipop ring?
So which is it? Have you guys decided if you're going out, or is it just one-sided?
Decided? Shouldn't the parties involved naturally just know?
My father used to work for Mr. Amano. So, Lance and I grew up together. Huh, I said it out loud.
I don't see if there's anything to be embarrassed about. So your father was an employee of the Amano Group? What did he do?
I heard his job was to fly around the world. On Pegasus.
But Pegasus?
Oh, Pegasus was the name of the airplane. The airplane belonged to the company. You had me there for a second. But now, it's all changed. My father, he isn't around anymore.
On Pegasus, huh? Oh, people with money can pull whatever they want. Like the Pokemon cards, I can't.
About 10 years ago, he rode in Pegasus off to somewhere and never returned.
Riding Pegasus to whereabouts unknown. Sounds like the stuff legends are made of.
It's been so long. I don't think I'd recognize him if we were ever to meet again. But I won't give in to sadness. I have to live. Yes, Lauren, live!
About this incident.
Incident? But isn't the kidnapping already over and dealt with? I've been here the whole time, so I'm afraid I don't know much about any other incident.
How did you come to know that Lance had been kidnapped?
Oh, that's because of my woman's intuition.
You based everything on that.
I know everything when it comes to my Lance. It's really strange. It really must be destiny. She started fantasizing again. So what are you gonna do now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Clearly, I have to edge. We already established that there's a good chance that the killer is another kidnapper. It's my duty to figure out who this other person is. I believe there is one location that might hold a clue or two. The obvious location is the kidnapper's hideout.
But we're still not allowed in, remember?
Agent Lang and his men should be done with this area. In that case, there's no harm in asking that officer over there to let us in. Hello, officer over there. Let me in. What do you have to report? Sir! Nothing unusual or out of the ordinary, sir! Where have I heard such redundancy before? Is it possible for you to let us take a look around inside? Sir! Roger, sir! That was surprisingly hassle-free. Thank you, Meekins, too. Are you certain it Agent Lang, or do you not allow me in? Sir, that's true, sir, but... Detective Gumshoe asked me personally not to in, sir. And I couldn't refuse a request from him.
Wow, looks like Detective Gumshoe has a following.
Furthermore, I was asked to give you this document, sir. What is this? The man in the picture, isn't this Mr. Oliver Deacon?
But the name here says Colin Deveray.
Whereabouts unknown after his escape from Pennydent Prison, stole a gun from a guard during his escape. We thought he might head for where his wife and sole daughter are, but despite our surveillance, he has yet to show up. It appears that Colin Deveray is his real name. What's this? He was convicted in a case 10 years ago. Chat, I really do just be calling fucking everything.
What? Then what was he doing here?
Apparently he broke out of jail and then just vanished. He must have become Oliver Deacon to cover up the fact that he was escaping from prison. How's this man 4 inches shorter than me but 60 pounds lighter? He's a skinny bitch. He's one of those, like, skin and bones old men. There's a cat butt right here. Here's the cat. Say hello.
Now I'm not sure what's going on anymore.
Is there some sort of link between the victim's past and this current case? You rubbing your face on the webcam? That's very cute. That's very cute. I should take the time to give them a thorough read eventually. It's fine. Let's focus on one thing at a time, starting with the kidnapper's hideout.
Yeah, I agree. We should investigate first, think later.
More than thinking things through, I think you should try remembering things first. Now then, if you could please unlock the door, officer. It was locked up until a little while ago, but since then, the door's been wide open, sir. I'm not sure I follow what you're saying. Care to explain in a bit more detail? Sir, the door was locked down tight when they went to check out the room, so they got about 10 officers to help out break that door down, sir. I see. I guess it means I get Agent Lang's leftovers. Well, let's see what we find. So this is where the kidnappers planned their foul deed.
Well, you were tied up for a while in the room next door, huh?
Okay, please, why must you bring that up again? Now then, down to business. There might still be some clues left in this room, like that blue badger costume that I see over there. And this gun. This door is broken open. I won't rest.
It looks like a sword. A broken sword.
Strange. Why would it be broken like that? Because it smacked you in the back of the head. Swords don't usually break on their own.
That's true.
Alright then. Let's think about it this way. Maybe it broke when someone was trying to use it for something. Hypotheticals aren't going to get us anywhere. Perhaps we should think more about this later. Or it was barring the door?
Well, they have barrels like these outside.
Yes, and?
Well, I know we already asked you when we were out there, but if these were real, what would you put in them?
There's an acceptant gleam in her eyes that I'm about to dash.
That doorknob handled thingy looks pretty beat up.
I suppose that's where... That's where. When 10 officers break their way in with brute force.
Yeah, that's odd. The lock on this is completely fine. Not even a single dent.
Yeah, I bet the sword was used to, like, bar the door. But how is that possible after what that officer told us?
Yeah, if the lock had been in use when the door was busted down, then the lock itself should be completely wrecked.
So the lock on the door leading to the outside of this room is undamaged. How can that be? The panel that hid the entrance to the underground is propped open wide. Be careful where you step, Kay.
I only fell into the other opening once, you know.
This must be where they dispose of old and worn-out costumes.
That's so sad.
It would seem that they throw costumes away in pieces. Did I just see like a blood splatter on that fucking... Oh, it's not gonna let me look. Really? There's clearly something in that hand. Urethra! It's a bit strange that the police had to force their way into an unlocked room. One look at the pristine door lock and anyone can see that it's not of use at this time.
But the policeman outside said it took 10 men to get it open.
Door that was locked tight despite it being not locked at all. It can only be because of this.
Oh, you mean...
Yes, it was used to jam the door. Here, take a look at the door handle. You see how the handle is completely destroyed?
So that's how the sword broke.
Beyond this door is where the kidnappers held you after getting the jump on you. Must you keep reminding me?
What's the rumor I got to see your awesome goal face?
You didn't need to remind me of that either. Sign advertising the photo rally, something I have absolutely no interest in.
Yeah, but I do. I'm gonna get my hands on the rest of the Badger family, you'll see.
She definitely brings a decidedly different atmosphere to a criminal investigation.
There's a trapdoor in this room.
Yes, it's an entrance to an underground passage cave.
I know that.
The door leading to the outside world was locked, so Lance must have escaped his prison through here. Unused folding chairs lean against a wall in their folded state.
Wow, whoever lined these up did it perfectly. They're not even a single hair off.
I feel bad about using them because it'd be like stealing that perfection away. I suspect it's more like you wouldn't want to be the ones to put them away.
Watch out, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's a broken mirror. It probably came from the haunted house. Why is this here? Are they planning to repair it? Three coffees.
It's like there were only 3 cups that are being used.
Yeah, because it's the dude, it's the girl, and then it's the butler. I wonder what this key is for.
You got me. Reminds me of the key we found in the other room. That's it. This must be the key for one of those trapdoors.
Yeah, that wasn't a trapdoor. You could only call it that because you literally jumped into it.
Hey, but isn't that what you're supposed to do when you see one?
I'm not having this conversation. Cluster of Gatewaterland stuck on the wall. Intrigue, fun, prestige. Gatewaterland has it all and it's waiting for you. It's not especially catchy, is it? Folding chairs, and by the look of it, they were probably used by the kidnappers.
There are 3 chairs set around the table.
Eureka! These things both have the number 3! The common denominator between the cups and the folding chairs is the number 3. Speaking of which, the number of missing costumes is also 3.
Wait, but I thought there were only 2 kidnappers.
Indeed, something isn't adding up. Literally. Is it possible there is a 3rd kidnapper that Lance didn't see? Or perhaps Lance is the 3rd kidnapper? I thought that we might uncover the true identity of the kidnappers. But instead we've only uncovered more questions that need to be answered. Jesus Christ. Fucking Proto-Badger jump scare? Why?
Ah!
What is that?
Oh wow. Mr. Edgeworth, am I correct?
What are you doing? Popping out of a secret entrance like that?
This is an underground passage used by staff members, sir. We Badgers also make use of it in our duties. Look, why don't you get out of there first and then we'll talk, okay? I beg your pardon, miss. Proto Badger, get! Alright, one more to go.
What are you getting all excited about?
Did you forget? The photo rally, duh! See, look, now all I have to do is get a picture of the Bad Badger and I'm all done. Yes, I vaguely recall a contest or something of that sort. What? It's gone! Where did it go? What happened? What's wrong? A Bad Badger costume is missing, sir. Oh, is that all? Well, it's missing because the kidnappers stole it. I heard about that how they were stolen, but it said that only 3 of the costumes had been taken. What? Is he saying that more than 3 of them are gone? Mr. Proto-Badger, please tell me a little more about these costumes. What did you mean by a Bad Badger costume is missing? Why, just what I said, sir. We are 1 Bad Badger short. Counting the spares, we have 2 of each costume on hand at all times. Okay, so because one of them is walking around the park, the other should be in that room. Actually, both of them should be in that room. Huh? What do you mean? Normally we don't use the Bad Badger costumes. In fact, we only use them during a certain event at a set time each day. It's the stage show where the Bad Badger wreaks havoc along the park. And the other Badgers must work together to apprehend him, sir. I'm speechless that such a show exists. Sir, I was just trying to explain to you the only time we use the costume. Then, doesn't that make it near impossible to take a picture of the Bad Badger? Personally, I can't believe that it's this close to showtime and there's no costume. Oh dear, what am I gonna do? All this basically means is that the kidnappers stole 4 costumes in total. Then, are you saying that there are 4 kidnappers? No, I don't think that's very likely. Oh? Recall the costumes for a minute. The stolen ones, you mean? What proves that a 4th kidnapper does not exist?
Take that!
Probably the Pink Badger?
Take that!
Take that! If you had 4 people and you had wanted to steal a 4th costume, wouldn't you naturally go for the full set and steal a Pink Badger costume instead? No, that would be gay. Gay people are hated in this. I'm joking. We love gay people. This is an LGBTQ friendly stream. Gay people are awesome. If you're gay, give yourself a high five and then, I don't know, have like an iced tea and lemonade, if that makes you happy. That's what makes me happy. And I love men. And yet, the kidnappers decide to steal another Bad Badger. I believe the culprits needed 2 Bad Badger costumes, but the question is, why? Probably because the first Bad Badger costume got like a hole in the hand or something. Gee, I wonder. The second Bad Badger costume, I believe it may be closer at hand than we think. What do you mean? That costume in the trash. Wouldn't you say that's wearing of some very telltale pants? Hey, you're right. Let's get out of there and take a quick look. As I suspected, it's a Bad Badger costume. Minus the head. The head was in the other room with Miles when we first started this. Look, its hand is hurt. It looks more like it was ripped off or something. I wonder why the Bad Badger's costume's right hand is all torn up like that. It's a flesh wound from a fight with the Blue Badger. I always knew the Blue Badger's one ferocious beast. I somehow doubt that the real Badgers are as bloodthirsty as that, Kay. I don't know. I guess he needs fingers to fire a gun? His gun?
Eureka!
Eureka! Urethra! I believe what we have here is an inconsistency.
Between what?
Look carefully. Our costume is not holding something in its right hand that it should be.
Oh, the gun!
Precisely. The Bad Badger was designed to always hold a gun in his right hand. However... You there, did you remove the gun from this Bad Badger's right hand?
No, I did not, sir. The gun is supposed to be securely attached to the costume.
As I thought. The rip itself confirms my hypothesis that the gun was forcibly removed. Mr. Proto-Badger, the gun is, of course, not a functioning weapon, correct?
Absolutely not, sir. It's just a model gun. However, it can fire blanks. We need to use them for the stage show.
It seems that our kidnappers also had a need for the model gun, my dear costumed friend. Okay. I think we're about done with this room.
So what next?
Well, we found a few answers, but there are still a few things left that we have to ask a certain person about. Let's go, Kay. Mr. Edgeworth there! I managed to escape once more from the beach! You gotta hurry, sir, come on! What is it, detective? They found a blue badger costume down front of the main gate, sir! What?
Isn't that one of the kids?
Bingo! If we hurry, we might still be able to get there before Wolf Boy does, sir. Alright, let's make haste. Chat, I'm so excited for Saturday. Saturday is gonna be a really sick stream. We're gonna finish Grun, and we're gonna play a spooky space game. If all things go as I'd like it to, we will finish 2 games in the same stream. Because spooky space game will only take an hour. Or should only take an hour. Where's the costume, Detective Gumshoe? I can't see it because it's halfway off the screen, and my object permanence hasn't kicked in yet. Just on the other side of the fountain, sir! I fucking knew it. So Lance's girlfriend was wearing this costume, and she had the little wings necklace, and it connects with that guy's necklace to make the Pegasus.
Was it out here in the open all along?
No, it was discovered in the tall grass back there. We moved it out here in order to examine it more thoroughly.
Then let's get down to it.
What do we have here? Yoink, I'm going to sell this.
Oh, it's another pendant. That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? Hey, it's pretty big. He's made of platinum silver too.
Another pendant on top of the one we found on Mr. Deacon. Is it possible that these two...
Hold it right there. Hands off, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross the line, don't ya?
Nah.
Pendant, huh? This is a very decisive piece of evidence.
He puts it in his mouth and he just chews it to bits and swallows.
How can you tell? I can't read off what you see. Lauren, hey, it's a name that's engraved on this. We have you now, Miss Kidnapper. No, you don't understand.
Lolly, I can't believe you were one of my kidnappers.
Lance! You're kidding, Miss Pops was one of the kidnappers? Yes. It was me. I held Lance hostage.
So Miss Pops is one of the kidnappers. But even knowing that, I can't call this case solved. Or over.
Hey, guys, case closed. Get the car ready, and I mean the special one for this young lady. Again, Mr. Prosecutor, wasn't it this time?
Are you proposing that Miss Pops is also the culprit? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect.
We found it.
Found what?
That officer's gun, he literally dropped it in the middle of a thick patch of grass. Your country's police are ashamed, just look at how careless they are.
What you call a sham?
The officer's gun didn't show signs of having been fired, so it can't be the murder weapon.
So Officer Meekins has been cleared of all charges, I see.
And that's when a brand new suspect comes walking onto the scene. The murder only happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, Mr. Prosecutor. ... Miss Pops, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? Yes, I killed him. I can't believe it. Thanks for the confession.
Agent Wang, it's too early to declare this case closed.
Look, you're so sure of yourself. We've got the culprit's own confession and some very incriminating evidence. What more could you ask for?
Miss Lauren Pops.
Yes?
I want to hear it from you. Tell me your side of all that has happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder.
But why, I'm a kidnapper and a killer. Isn't that enough?
It's fine if you're the one behind everything, but only if that is the truth. Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason why you can't?
I've had a change of heart. I think I'd enjoy seeing you sulk away as a losing mutt. Alright, you heard me. Let's hear all about all the evil deeds you committed today. The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Amano would pay anything to get his son back, after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me. There, are you satisfied? She just confessed to her crimes a second time. At least you have the guts to admit what you've done. I can at least respect that much.
Miss Pops, is what you really said the truth?
Yes, it is.
That is the truth. It certainly isn't the whole truth, because there is something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession. A bit of a game theory.
Objection!
I knew it. I knew it. Miss Pops, you are clearly a fucking idiot, aren't you?
What?
You never knew what your role in the kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you with this piece of evidence.
Why are you showing this to me?
So what about the pendant? This pair of wings, along with this piece of evidence, shows who you really are.
Take that!
These two pendants resemble each other, wouldn't you agree?
Hey, you're right. They're the same color and they're even made of the same material.
I believe that these two pendants are actually one.
Huh?
Shall we give it a try?
Wow, it's totally Pegasus. But why? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's?
You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be.
No, that can't be.
So the two make a set. It's just another trinket.
It's not as though this changes anything.
You lack imagination, Agent Lang. Very well, I'll show you with this evidence. This is the piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant.
Take that!
Oliver Deacon was an alias for this man. His real name was Colin Deveray, the name that is etched on the horse pendant.
What? An alias?
I suppose he had to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live. It makes sense given that what is written on Mr. Deveray's dossier. But what I really wanted to point out was this. Daughter.
Take that!
Mr. Deveray had one daughter, and her name is Lauren Pops.
That's a lie. That person was not my father.
He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch over you. Do you still believe that a man like that could kill the daughter he was separated from? Or even that such a man would allow his daughter to get involved in a kidnapping plot?
Not so fast!
And what's so funny, Agent Lang?
You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you?
What are you trying to say?
Your thing is much too innocent. After all, I thought of another possibility.
Is that so? Well, let's hear it.
I'll grant you that the two of them are father and daughter. But isn't it possible they both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the House of a Mile. And the two of them make good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well?
So this is his version of how things might have been.
You don't have any proof that either one didn't know their true relationship, right? You mean because they knowingly committed the kidnapping as father and daughter? That's right. It's one really rotten family.
Is that really what happened? I'd better take a long, hard look at evidence. I'm hard and long about Agent Wang. I wouldn't. Because they couldn't have met. Because of the dossier?
Objection!
Agent Lang, fuck you!
I'm Agent Lang. Lang Ji says, confidence is like a soul, and words without confidence are but empty shells. You shouldn't waste your breath on words you have no confidence in. Well, it's just as bad to say something in full confidence and be wrong. Are you gonna let him lecture you about your self-confidence like that? I don't need to be overflowing with self-confidence, I just need to think rationally. After all, I only need to be confident in the facts. Oh, Carpal. Triple Play has a sale on Saturday. $25 Twilight Masquerade ETBs. I'm not gonna buy one. It's cheap Twilight Masquerade, and I'd really like to open more Twilight Masquerade, but you know, like I said, I'm not buying shit, but that would be nice to get my hands on, so it's a bummer, but it's a whatever kind of bummer. And I'm just gonna have to...
Hold it! Knuckle back!
I've seen a lot of things on my travels, and I can tell you that being related by blood is sometimes proof of nothing.
Hold it!
You think they knew?
Yeah, I don't think only the victim knew. I think the girl realized as well. They both knew who the other person was, but they had to pretend that they didn't.
Because he was on the lam.
You got it. The victim couldn't exactly go around flaunting who he was. Furthermore, it was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the House of Mono.
Hold it!
One is a butler and one is a friend of the sun, you mean?
They probably thought that was their best shot.
Is that what you honestly believe?
Of course.
Hold it!
You mean how they plotted to commit this crime as blood relatives?
Can you think of a better partner? They're certainly a clever pair.
A butler and the girlfriend, no one would ever suspect they were in fact family.
Yes, from the very beginning they painstakingly practiced those roles well. Wouldn't you say that makes sense?
Hold it!
I believe you're being a bit too overconfident for someone with no evidence.
Am I? So I don't see you presenting any evidence on the contrary.
Sorry, without evidence, we're stuck in a stalemate. Agent Lang isn't wrong, his scenario is certainly a probable one.
You better hurry up and do something, or Lauren's gonna wind up looking really bad.
I know, but the first things first. Is Agent Lang's line of logic factually correct? Did the two of them really knowingly commit the crime as father and daughter? Edgeworth. Certified Edgeworth moment. Ah.
Objection!
Agent Lang, pendant. And she says, fuck you. Um, I don't know. Two of them. Two of them.
Objection!
Two. This kidnapping wasn't planned by just two people alone. And what kind of proof do you have of that? Quite simple, there were three kidnappers. Three? 4 costumes were stolen from the Wild Wild West, Wiki West. Area's back room. We found one of them in the kidnapper's hideout. As for the other 3, we can assume they were being worn by 3 different people. We also found a set of 3 cups and 3 folding chairs that were used in the hideout. It all clearly points to a 3-man group, and I believe that the 3rd person is the real mastermind behind the kidnapping. Oh, who's the mastermind? I present to you the brains behind the kidnapping. It's pretty obvious.
Take that!
I'm not saying I've been calling it since the fucking start. I've been calling it since the fucking start. Yes, this abduction was in fact schemed up by Lance himself. Wait a second. Lance is 21 and she's 19. Oh, you dog! No, I'm joking. Yes, this abduction was in fact, yeah. Recall what he said when he appeared before us. No, I didn't see the faces but 2. One was a woman. However, there were 3 kidnappers, which is in direct contradiction of what he said. But, I know I only saw 2 people. This guy's being held hostage. It's possible he couldn't see all 3 of them. Oh yes, about when you were being held, I have my doubts about what happened there. Lance, would you mind telling us what happened while you were being held captive? I really don't remember much anymore, honest. If I don't tell you at least something, you won't believe me at all, will you? Happy business, boy. I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in the room blindfolded the entire time. The kidnappers suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. My hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. I made my room escape and ran far away from that room as fast as I could. Through the underground passageway, I presume? Are you okay? Sorry, I really didn't want to recall that horrible ordeal. But now you believe me, right? No, not quite. Oh, how can you not? How do you look at me with such icy daggers in your eyes? Because he's a prosecutor, and because they're all like that. I'll have you know, Agent Lang, a prosecutor's eyes are for discerning the truth. And should they be interpreted as cruel at times, get fucked. There is a sticking point in Lance's testimony. Let's see what he offers up when I push a little. The kidnappers had disappeared? The room fell into a sudden silence. I had been left behind like an unwanted mutt. And what do you mean by unwanted mutt?
What a pointless question. It's not like he's gonna tell you anything new, you know.
It's a poetic simile. You should learn how to use them too. You may look refined on the outside, but it's no good if you're not refined on the inside as well.
Hold it!
Then those cuffs on your wrist, I suppose you're still cuffed in that case. I'm well aware of how I'm chained to reality. I couldn't find the key, so I'm afraid that I'm stuck like this. If I escape from that jail cell, I will forever be a prisoner. I made my escape and ran away as fast as I could.
Hold it!
How did you manage to escape? Ah! Got your ass.
Wah, wah. Wah, wah. Wah, wah.
Objection!
Wrong! Get your ass out of here! You say that the door leading out was locked, but was it really? That's pretty good. That's pretty funny. I like that.
We're talking about that room behind the saloon front, right? Look, I heard that it took quite a few men to get that thing open, right, Sheena?
Yes, correct, boss.
Then take a look into this! Wait a second, Miss Arden. It's not especially reliable one if it's broken like that.
Allow me to start from the end. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. It was simply held shut by this door, which was used to jam the handle shut. Lance, even though your hands were cuffed together, you could still use them. If that's the case, then why did you not simply just remove the sword and escape?
Why did I was disoriented. Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I didn't notice it. As if I should just accept such a bold-faced lie. You locked yourself in that room because you had to make yourself look like the victim, but you did not in fact possess the key to the door. That is why you used the prop sword to improvise, then create a prison of your own.
Not so fast! You've been making this guy out to be one of them kidnappers for some time now. I wonder if you've forgotten something very important along the way.
And what would that be?
A motive! What else? Do you honestly think that an upright, pure, good boy like him,
It's like rubbing him on the fucking chin.
pure boy like him, would hatch up a completely pointless scheme just to kidnap himself?
But of course, I have a reasonable cause. This motherfucker's broke because of OnlyFans. I mean, I'm a prosecutor. Fuck you.
Take that!
To put it simply, Lance has a very urgent need for speed! This is hardly your typical love letter. It is in fact a collections bill. It appears our upstanding boy has accumulated quite a bit of debt. Isn't that right, Lance?
Ah.
I mean,
Looks like it's hard to be the son of a rich man, too. It must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your old man, huh?
All right, I give up. I abducted myself.
Lance!
It's over, Lolly. In this life, we really are bound to our fates after all. All I wanted was to go out with you to a new town, somewhere where no one would know us. I wanted us to be well off with that 1 million, but now that dream is over.
Oh, Lance!
Then you are giving yourself up? Yes, I had planned to run away from this world with my Lolly. Oliver even helped us with the plan, but then he had to go and stab us in the back. He turned on you. Maybe he didn't want to split the ransom money, that's my guess. It happened almost right after you made the drop-off. When we were alone, he attacked me all of a sudden. After a brief struggle, I was able to contain him and keep him under control. We left him inside that room as Lolly and I made our escape. We wore different costumes and split up. Lolly first left in the Blue Badger costume. That would mean the person in the Officer Meekins saw was Miss Pops. But right then, the old man just had to wake up. I was careless and he tackled me pretty hard from behind. Then Oliver put on a Bad Badger costume, took the suitcase with the $1 million and ran. I contacted Lolly right away and warned her that he had a gun. They had no idea that they were related, so I thought that it could only end badly. I still don't believe it. That person was not my father. Because if he was, I just killed my own father. Lolly, then it really was you. That man was not my father, I mean, because at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the $1 million in it. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aimed to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun that I got from Lance. There was a gunshot, and the other person crumpled to the ground. I ran, scared for my life. I think the big picture is coming into focus, don't you? Lolly, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only I could have protected you. So Miss Pops, she shot her own dad without even knowing who he really was? If what she says is true. Are you saying that she's lying? But why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve? You would be surprised how often people lie without realizing it themselves, Kay. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? What I mean is, listen very carefully to her confession one more time and you see. That man was not my father because at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the $1 million in it. But that badger pointed his gun at me. Would the lie be the ripped bad badger costume? Let's start pressing more. Well, we could always just do the thing where we just go to the end and it tells us if we need to press more or not. Poor Miss Pops. What will become of her, Mr. Edgeworth? She seems to be telling the truth regarding what happened at the stadium. However, I don't believe it's absolutely correct. Listen very carefully to her confession one more time. Pulling the suitcase with $1 million in it, but that badger pointed his gun at me. Were you able to clearly see the gun? Yeah, I got a very good look at it when it was pointing at me. Oh, Father, why would you try to shoot me? You really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth? I don't know. Yeah, Edgeworth would know nothing about fathers shooting guns at them. It's true. My father's left arm was raised with a gun in it. Pointing straight up. Left? Miss Pops, please calm down and take a deep breath. And then, would you allow me to please hear that last statement one more time? Yes, of course. Left hand. Would it be this one?
Objection!
What? But that shows the badger with the gun in his right hand. Oh. Come on, man. We finally have to use that one.
Objection!
Right? Did I present on the wrong statement? I was... No way. It is left hand. Oh, he's right-handed.
Objection!
I have here a dossier on your father. And according to this, your father was right-handed. Oh! Lance showed up with the gun. The gun he gave Lauren was the Bad Badger one that fires blanks. Ah, then the person pointing the gun at you from the top of the stage was not Mr. Deacon.
Not so fast! Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his right hand, which is why the only hand he could have held the real gun was his left. Is it possible that it went down like that?
Agent Wang, were you paying attention at all? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set a foot in court to catch it. He had the suitcase. Miss Pops told us earlier.
There's a Bad Badger pulling the suitcase.
Yeah. According to you, the Bad Badger had the gun in his left hand. Which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Pops?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure it was the Bad Badger. It had those huge sunglasses on his face. But if that's the case, I can see there's a huge contradiction.
Yes, Miss Pops claims to have seen the Bad Badger, and yet the Bad Badger had both of his hands full. Those two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. Is it maybe both are correct because of the busted costume?
Impossible. That just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction.
Miss Pop's entire statement rests on the fact that she saw sunglasses and a beard. What if that Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? Oh, yeah, you could just use the head. The costumes have two parts, a head and a body.
Oh, I get it now.
The head Miss Pop saw was probably really the head of the Bad Badger. However, it is not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger.
A different badger?
Yes, or to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. The body of the Bad Badger Miss Pop saw was, Proto-Badger?
Take that!
What the heck is that?
It's the Proto-Badger. Yeah, it's the Sheena voice. Yes, and it is a simple matter of process of elimination. Dude, Sheena looks like a fucking villain, dude. Like, she's got, like, murderer dress. I feel like Sheena's just gonna be evil later or some shit like that. Miss Pops was wearing a blue badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one. And the pink badger is the wrong color. All that is left is the Proto-Badger costume. The motherfucker who knocked me out. Miss Pops, who was the one who wore the Proto-Badger costume?
That would be Lance.
Not so fast.
Not so fast! Are you saying what I think you are? That Lance Amano donned the Bad Badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon? On top of which he plotted to shoot Miss Pops while wearing that hideous thing?
The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than a setup, and its purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing that she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim. It was all done so that she could pull the trigger. I have no idea what you're talking about. Why exactly would I have done all that, huh? There is but one reason, Lance Amano. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon. What?
No!
That's slander. Take it back. You take it back right now. Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand? I'm left-handed, but what does that have to do with anything? It depends. According to Miss Pops, her attack held a gun in his left hand.
Not so fast! Who's one-handed doesn't prove a thing. Besides, why are you just being absurd? It's not like the Proto-Badger is bulletproof. One misfire and he would have found himself dead, right?
Of course, logically, if he had been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need. Proto-Badger gun. Missing model gun. We found one half of a Bad Badger costume in the hideout, a broken one. It was not the same one the victim was wearing, plus it was missing somehow. Missing something, and that something is a model gun that fires blanks.
What?
Miss Pops, where is the gun used now?
I threw it away into the sea.
That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was. Although I believe that we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question.
Not so fast.
Not so fast! I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture. Lang Ji says if there's a model gun in the ocean, I'll find it. BRB.
I admit that as long as the model gun has lost us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I'm right is very high.
Okay, let's pretend you're right and that the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor?
I don't know yet.
Ha! I knew you were full of it.
However, I do believe that the murder took place at an earlier time frame.
Please wait a second. It's simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance.
She saw the victim in a state of being restrained?
I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door.
That was me.
After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape. So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right? We thought that I'd attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone.
Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at that time. Oh, bother. I can't believe he's fucking buying that.
And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage.
Huh? Yeah, sounds great. Oh, the baby?
Hi, the baby.
Here. Come here, let me say goodnight to my girl. Oh.
Ah! I love you. I see you tomorrow. Right, go get your mama.
Off she goes.
Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Pops saw the victim with her own eyes. Which means that the victim was still alive at the time, wouldn't you agree?
Why does that sound very wrong to me? There must be something amiss about this account. Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail.
Hold it!
You are sure that it was Mr. Deacon you saw?
Yes, I'm certain of what I saw.
Did you go into the other room to check?
Lance said that it was best if I didn't get too close to him. He's such a kind soul.
Then, are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon?
I checked through the slit on the door that separates the two rooms. He had a bad badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure. It had to be Mr. Deacon.
She saw a bad badger head.
Objection!
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all.
What?
The person that you actually saw was me, Miles Edgeworth!
Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth?
I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me even after I'd handed over the ransom? It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe I can assume that the victim was already dead at the time. Well, Lance, am I right? That's... You showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, with a bad badger's head on, and then made your costume to escape together, or so you pretended.
What do you mean, pretended?
Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape and then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the bad badger head from my unconscious self. We did only see one set of footprints leaving the hideout. Oh, no. And to create his fake prison with the prop sword, he then escaped via the passageway.
Not so fast. Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get caught with the tidal wave of words coming out of that prosecutor's mouth.
Tidal wave?
I've heard a lot coming out of you, and I've yet to see a shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal and his subsequent detainment, all of that could have happened while you were out cold.
That's right. You were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor.
Even if that were the
case, Miss Pops would have still seen me tied to that beam.
I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go into the other room. So I really have no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, it would seem that you can't prove a thing.
Well, I literally was in the room and there was no one else in the room. I can prove it. It was literally just me. We have multiple witnesses, myself and Kay. Please, wait. Mr. Romano. Oh, Miles, my boy. It looks like you're really giving it your all this time. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others. Dad? Let's see. If you are the one in charge of the investigation, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you.
Oh, do you now?
Is that what I think it is?
It's the Bad Badger costume the victim was wearing. And a gun!
I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears that they were disposed of into the sea.
Is there no country in this law that... Is there no one in this country actually obeys the law?
There now. Agent Lang, please calm down.
What the heck is that scrap of paper?
This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police. Please allow Mr. Armando to complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says.
What? The Chief of Police? Just who does this guy think he is?
The person who wields the highest authority in this area.
Oh. There now.
There is no need to be so upset.
I'm not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country.
No. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything. It's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of this land.
Can't say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand. It doesn't matter who found the evidence. Its value remains unchanged. Right now, let's take a look at this new evidence, huh?
I've already got the results back. I had a special forensics research lab that I'm on good terms with conduct the test. They verified the blood on this costume belonged to Oliver. And as for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours, Warren.
What?
You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around. That's it? These are the case-making pieces of evidence? Ha! I'll be the judge of that. This is gonna be the actual murder weapon. This bullet hole.
Looks kind of burnt around the edges.
Wait, those burn marks were left by gunpowder. That is an important fact.
Why is that?
Because it is proof that the victim was shot at point-blank range. Ooh. Anything else? Okay. They found Miss Pop's fingerprints on this gun.
Can you let me hold it for a sec?
I shouldn't if you don't know how to handle it, but besides, Miss Pop's fingerprints are on it.
Look, I'm wearing gloves. It'll be okay. I just want to take a look, that's all. It's not like I'm gonna run off with it. Only things I don't return are treasure.
Stealing either will land you in jail, you know. Love you. See you tomorrow. Okay, so what else does it want me to do here? Oh, there we go. What's this? It looks like there's something inside the head of the costume. Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. But why are they in here? Well, are those not the most definitive pieces of evidence you've ever seen? Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there. No. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on that murderer's gun, and they prove that it was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lolly's life, so Mr. Edgeworth, even you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense. The fingerprints on the weapon, huh? Oh no, this isn't helpful at all! Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly, but in the end, all I can do is watch as she takes the punishment for her crimes. That may be all you can do, however. I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie. You wound me. Why won't you believe me, even in the face of all this evidence? Because you're stupid, you're dumb, and your chin looks stupid?
Hold it!
You sure are calm for someone who is accusing his own girlfriend of murder. Wait. Wouldn't she have been wearing the mascot costume? So she couldn't have left fingerprints on it, right? You have it all wrong. Allowing her to pay the price is a form of love. She says that she also wants to pay back her debt to society, but Oliver was also after Lolly's life.
Hold it!
I suppose it's because he wanted to silence her, to keep her quiet because she knows the truth behind the kidnapping. In that case, why did he not target you as well? That's because he knew that if he killed me, he wouldn't be able to control my father. Right you are. Even if it cost me millions, I would have had the killer found. I believe he didn't kill you for an entirely different reason, however, I digress. Look, why didn't he kill me? I'm worried about what will happen to Lolly. His entire argument hinges on the fact that her fingerprints are on the gun. However, the truth does not lie there. It lies in whatever he's hiding from you, but not for long. Those fingerprints, are you sure they belong to Miss Pops? There's no mistake about it. My connections are the best forensic techniques money can buy performed. I find that to be a bit peculiar. What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yeah, you should, because she shouldn't wear the costume. Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Pop's print should be on that gun to begin with. And the reason why... Stone costumes.
Take that!
It's simply not possible for Miss Pops to have left any prints on the murder weapon. Because while she was at the stadium, Miss Pops was wearing a costume. Huh? But there's been no mistake. We found fingerprints. Well, Miss Pops, do you remember touching the gun at all at any time? Yes, as a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house. To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it. That is when Miss Pop's prints found their way onto the gun. Do you understand now, Mr. Romano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Miss Pops is the murderer. But you still don't have... But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right? You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer. Oh, Lance... What? No way, I'm incredibly worried. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right? That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence. What? How? The story that Miss Pops killed the victim at the stage in the stadium. The whole affair is simply not true, because that was not the real crime, but the setup. This proves the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all.
Take that!
This piece of evidence proves...
Mr. Prosecutor, I'd have to rate that a 0 out of 10.
It was at least a 6.8 out of 10. Fuck you, it literally did. It was a fucking mirror! What? Oh, right, because of the point blank. Wait, I don't have a way to present that. The victim's costume. There we go. He was shot point blank. Just take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing. Then I believe you will see why I insist he is not shot at the stadium. This is the part of the costume that proves it.
Take that!
The burn marks around the bullet hole were made when the victim was shot at point blank. Ah, so you mean the murderer, Miss Oldbag, thought the stadium really was? Yes, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, there should have been a gunpowder burn. They love gunpowder burns in these games.
Lucky you, Mr. Smarty Pants Prosecutor. Since you seem to know the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is?
Your mom's house.
Oh.
Ooh, kill him! Ooh, kill him! Lance set out to let me look up to meet Mr. Deacon back at the hideout, but if that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location where Lance and the victim were at just before I was imprisoned was... Eureka! The haunted house!
Take that!
I think it's not unreasonable to assume the murder took place in the haunted house.
The haunted house?
Yes, and I have proof that it was highly likely that the victim was killed here. The mirror. Which I tried presenting earlier, I guess I was just too fast. These were inside the costume of the victim was wearing. They're fragments of a mirror.
A mirror? What's that got to do with anything?
Indeed. You don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside of a costume.
Yeah, that's really dangerous.
However, there is one place I can think of where there is a plethora of mirror fragments. And that is the haunted house. Lance Mano, I propose that you killed Mr. Deacon with a revolver in the haunted house. After that, you stole the Blue Badgermobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. Wiki wiki. The timing of when the Blue Badgermobile was stolen confirms this is the fact.
Miles, my boy, say no more.
I'm sorry, Mr. Amano, but I cannot do that.
Not so fast. Be quiet.
Yes, please do something. Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense.
Mr. Mono, correct? I meant you. Now be quiet, Gramps.
How dare you?
I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call those mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor.
What?
Sheena, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout?
Yeah, there was a mirror in there. A mirror that's for the haunted house.
And see? Isn't it possible the fragments got in the costume there?
But Agent Lang, there were no fragments on the floor, so that probability is very low.
Not so fast! Probability? Ha ha ha! Lang Z says probabilities for babies. Lang Z says probabilities for babies. The only thing that does is definitive proof. Do you have it? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you?
Do I have some solid evidence that proves that the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is no.
See? So since you don't have a... Shut the frick up!
I don't have the evidence yet, but I'm certain the murder occurred around the same time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people at the haunted house, besides myself, were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder.
What now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Agent Lang, I have a special request.
Yeah?
I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house.
Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission?
Because I don't really have a choice if I want to find the truth.
Alright, permission granted. But you're not to touch a single thing, got it?
That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is that the truth be brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is.
Bonk, bonk. Sheena!
Lobby!
Put in the paperwork for the authorization immediately.
Understood. I'll go get the Gatewater Group's approval.
Who is that? Now. Let's hold on for a second. There's no need to obtain approval.
Mr. Romano, Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this.
What is this? I can't read. Sheena!
It's the deed to the haunted house. The deed?
Read it out loud.
Gatewater Inc. hereby bequeaths the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Amano for the lump sum of $1 million paid in full in cash. What?
Oh. As you can see, I'm now the legal owner of the haunted house. Are you kidding me? When did you... I ran into the owner of the park earlier and we made the deal almost immediately. How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye.
That's $1 million you paid. Don't tell me it was...
Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have any more use for it, so you can have it back now.
You used the ransom money?
My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier. So I do believe that I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are. So if you would please discuss things with me from now on.
Discuss?
What is there to discuss?
Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course. While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Romano was out there preempting us. Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest that girl. Miles, you should hurry on home now, boy, before I really lose my biscuits. Mr. Romano definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here, but I personally believe in the heart of the cards. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever. To be continued? What? I thought we were finishing this tonight. How much longer is this? Hold on, I'm gonna look it up, see how much longer it is. I guess we'll stop there for now. It's getting kind of late. Damn, I thought we were gonna finish this. Alright, chat. That's gonna be it for tonight. Next stream. We're playing Grun and Spooky Space Game. It's gonna be a real good time. I hope you all enjoyed tonight, and see you guys next time. Again, that is going to be Saturday. We're gonna play some Grun. Grun has been really fun, and I'm really hoping to beat the game. And we will be playing the Spooky Space Game. We should finish both games. So I'll see you guys next time, and thanks again for stopping by. See ya!